Hello and welcome to Kicktalk Regenerated. This is a new format for the Junior Football Show as we are moving from podcasts to YouTube. We will endeavour to bring you results each week, including match reports and reaction from some of the big games. Today, we covered one of the match of the day in Ayrshire as Beath Juniors played Largthistle in an entertaining 10-goal thriller. But first, it's time for the classified results. Here are today's results. The Ardagh Glass League Cup Section 1. Winton Rovers 1, Kilwinning Rangers 1. Beath Juniors 5, Largthistle 5. Dry Thistle 1, Kilburnie 1. League Cup Section 2. Ardea 0, Oven Vicks 3. Hulford 2, Saltcoats Vicks 0. Oven Meadow 5, Davil 2. Section 3. Troon 3, Craigmark 0. Girvan 0, Whitlets 11, Maybole 3, Anbank 2. League Section 4. Auchinleck Talbot 7, Luga Boswell Thistle 0. Glenafton Athletic 2, Cumnock 2. And Muirkirk Juniors 4, Kellow Rovers 1. This is Callum Corral for Kicktalk Regenerated, with the score in this Ardagh Cup match was Beath Juniors 5, Largthistle 5. What an explosive start to the season. In under 2 minutes, Largs were at 1 goal up as James Marks lifted the ball over the keeper for a magnificent strike. But Beath came roaring back. It was 1-0 from the penalty spot in 11 minutes as Andy Reid was nudged over by Mark Murray, who was booked for his troubles. Reid converted from the spot and then Beath moved 2-1 up just moments later. It was a cute dink over keeper Grant Weir from Reid yet again after a blazing run down the left hand side from Docherty. And then for Largs, Graham Muir, he grazed the crossbar in 22 minutes with a long-range effort. Docherty had a great chance for Beath. His seemingly goal-bound effort was diverted by Fisher, and luckily it landed in keeper Weir's hands for Thistle. But there was further chances for Beath, who really could have racked up some goals in this first half, with 2 or 3 headed opportunities going wayward. But it was Reid who scored his hat-trick on 39 minutes after a high ball into the box was headed home, and they were queuing up at the back post. But Thistle grabbed a lifeline on 45 minutes as James Marks' diagonal blast slammed high into the net from the left, and seconds later it was the half-time whistle. Beath 2, Largthistle, it was, at that point it was Largthistle 2, Beath 3, and we could all take our breath for 15 minutes. But there was more goals right at the start of the second half, and Thistle came out the traps the fastest. It was Muir that headed home from a corner kick to make it all square, 3-3, and then James Marks nodded home from a curling free kick from the left-hand side, and then within the hour mark, Marks had made it 5-3 for Largthistle after keeper strained. Poor clearance was blocked by Marks, and he had the simple job of firing into an empty net. But it was an extraordinary game, and Beath mounted another comeback. McLean hit an effort from close range to make it 5-4, and then Reid made it his 4th goal, as well as James Marks, who got 4 for the away side as well. And he managed to score on 71 minutes, so 5 each, and nobody could quite believe it. Largs were really, a better side in the second half, and they'll be disappointed because those chances that fell to Marks and Struthers in a lively second half, 45 minutes. But let's say in the last 20 minutes, Beath had probably most of the play, and Largs were kind of hanging on a bit, albeit they were nullifying Beath's chances. Largs brought on ex-Morton man Nicky Jimison, the youngster, helped shore up the defence. So it was a real goals feast to open the season at Bellsdale Park. A point apiece in this Ardagh Cup encounter. Both managers will reluctantly take a point, defend defending was poor for Largs and Beath, and neither can afford to be so vulnerable at the back when the league starts in earnest in 3 weeks' time. Final score at Bearsdale Park: Beath Juniors 5, Largs Thistle 5. This is Callum Corral for Kick Talk Regenerated. Right, I'm with Drew Corcoran just now, junior football pundit, after Largs Thistle's dramatic 5-all draw in the opening Ardagh Cup section. What was your take on that, Drew? Where would you begin?
Well, you know, I've seen 44 starts to the season in my reporting career, but that's probably the most amazing first game that I've witnessed. I mean, I predicted at half-time the score would be 6-5. Now, bearing in mind it was 3-2, I thought we're going to get more of the same, and we certainly did.
Well, I mean, it was incredible though, wasn't it? It was almost like a primary school football match in terms of the way the goals were raining in.
Yeah, when you think that a player on each side has scored 4 goals, and for James Marks of Largs to score 4 goals, I wonder if he's ever done it in his career before, and he's well on the way to matching last season's top total after one game.
I think as well though, when you look at it from the Beath point of view as well, I mean, they were 3-1 up and they were absolutely flying. What went wrong from their point of view?
Yeah, well, their defence was as dodgy as the Largs' defence. I mean, that was when you get a game that finishes 5 each, you know where the problem lies. And of course, Largs had a problem in the first half because any high ball that was coming over to the far post, they've now got a very small winger, Mark Murray. I don't think he's the answer. And as far as Beath were concerned, their problem was in the centre of defence, and they couldn't contain James Marks, who of course is a very fast, tricky player.
I have to say, I thoroughly enjoyed the game. I mean, it had great goals, it had bizarre goals, and you didn't know which way it was going to turn. It was maybe a shame from Largs' point of view. From the second half, they at last got in charge of it, and they actually blew some chances. Marks and Struthers had good opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, on the downside for Largs, they let a 2-goal lead go away. I mean, okay, they scored 4 goals without reply, they were 5-3 up, but then really, Sandy McLean has been telling us that, you know, they're going to be very cautious away from home. Well, if 5 each is cautious, well, okay, maybe we could take that.
Yeah. I mean, like you say though, what a start. I mean, I could have told you it was 44 to be honest, Drew. But there you go, 44 years. But in terms of the group stages, it means there's nothing really to either side. There's still all to play for, and Largs have got Kilbirnie in midweek.
Yeah, I've known Largs to qualify for the quarter-finals when they looked down and out after the first 3 games, and then suddenly the results change because of your midweek fixtures. So the fact that they've got a point against one of the top teams after the first game means they'll be thinking, all right, okay, bring on Kilbirnie, and then we should take care of the rest.
And as for Sean Lawrence, he didn't make an appearance today, and that will maybe be a source of disappointment to the fans. He could have, I don't know what kind of difference he would have made today given the way the goals are raining in, but Largs fans will still be eagerly hoping that he'll be making a comeback after the impact he made his first time at the round.
Well, I wouldn't bet my co-op vouchers on it, I'll tell you that for nothing. They seek him here, they seek him there. He's still in Rothsay. Yeah,
well, I mean, like I say though, the game today, I mean, James Marks scored after only 2 minutes, and that really set the tempo for the game. But then when Beath, let's say, they moved 3-1 up, and they were really moving up the gears at that point, James Marks' goal just before half-time was absolutely crucial. It was a great finish.
It was a great finish because James today scored with his right foot, his left foot, with his head, was doing all sorts of flicks, and let's face it, for a forward, what confidence he'll now have going into the rest of these games.
And finally, just for Beath's point of view as well, it was, let's say, for Reid to get 4 goals as well, that was pretty incredible as well. They might be disappointed. They were at home, they were expecting to get a good victory, and it never really transpired that way.
No, I think they were under strength because they've signed players who apparently weren't available today, and that can't be their regular central defence. Having said that, then Mark McShane at the back, and he's usually a kind of first choice. but they were missing players, and I thought they looked quite uncomfortable under pressure.
Okay, that's great. Thank you very much for that, Drew.